Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special draft day episode of the State of the Day podcast. For the first time in State of the Day history, we will have a 2025 first round mock draft. All 32 picks. We have some trades going on. Let's just hop right into it with pick number one. We should already know who's going number one to the Tennessee Titans. That's going to be Cam Ward, the quarterback out of Florida. That man is going to be something special. He threw for 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in his collegiate career. And I just feel like he's going to be the face of the Titans for a really, really long time. Number two, Cleveland. Here's the question now. Do you go edge rusher with Abdul Carter? Do you go quarterback with Shedeur Sanders? I think they go with the best player available, especially because they still have Deshaun Watson and still have Joe Flacco on the roster. You go for Travis Hunter. Get a corner slash receiver who you can play on both sides of the ball that can do both things really, really, really well. Now, the third pick is something that I had fits with. I was trying to figure out if they were going to go with Shedeur Sanders or Abdul Carter. Because think about it. If the Giants don't pick Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur immediately drops down to 6 at the Raiders. But I feel like because they went out and signed Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, they're not looking for another quarterback. I feel like if you sign one of them, it's kind of tossed up in the air. Maybe you go get both of them. Maybe you go get a quarterback and Shedeur, but they went and got two quarterbacks. So therefore, they're going Abdul Carter, the man with 11 sacks out of Penn State. Now, the Patriots, their main goal right now is to try and keep their young quarterback up. Okay, they're trying to keep their quarterback from being on the ground. They're trying to prevent all the sacks that we know can happen, especially with young quarterbacks. So they're going to go with the best lineman on the board, Will Campbell out of LSU. Only 2 sacks in his last year at college. That is the man the Patriots want to anchor that offensive line. Jacksonville. This is the first surprise of the draft. Not going to lie. This is going to be the first surprise of the draft. They already have Trevor Etienne, right? And I've seen dual running back tandem succeed in this league. Therefore, they're going Ashton Jeanty to help take the load a little bit off of Trevor Lawrence. We know how good Trevor Lawrence is. We know how good he can be. However, you can't do that without a good running attack. And I think that Jeanty paired along with Trevor Etienne is going to make that special. So Ashton Jeanty goes number 5 to Jacksonville. Now, the Raiders. Here's the question. You have Geno Smith. Do you go out and get Shedeur? No, you don't. You go get Ahmad Membou out of Missouri. You go get yourself an offensive lineman to help keep Geno afloat. If you suck again next year, tough shit. You get a high draft pick next year. You can go get one of the quarterbacks. So you go build your offensive lineup right now. You're not too worried on quarterback. That's where the Raiders are going to go. Pick number 7, the New York Jets. I feel like they're going to go tight end. I think they're going to go get themselves a pass catcher, someone who's going to be able to catch the football consistently all the time. Brock Bowers was a big game changer in the first round. I think we've seen that. We've seen how good Kyle Pitts can be. We've seen how good Tony Gonzalez can be. I think that the Jets are going to try and fit that mold and go get Tyler Warren out of Penn State. Carolina, they go with the best defensive lineman available. That's Mason Graham out of Michigan. Mason Graham, I'm going to pull up his stats right now. Mason Graham last year had 3.5 sacks as a nose tackle, right? 46 total tackles, 6'3", 320. He's a space eater down low. And that's why the Panthers are going to succeed with Mason Graham. Hopefully not too well because keep repping. But Mason Graham goes number 8. The Saints, they take that opportunity. They're like, okay, cool. You get the best defensive lineman available. We get the best edge rusher available. That is Jalen Walker out of Georgia. I've watched Georgia for the past how many years? Jalen Walker is a really, 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 really good edge rusher. And as much as I would love for him to drop, so the Falcons pick him up, I know it's not going to happen. So Jalen Walker, he goes number 9 to New Orleans. And then we have our first trade of the night. The Colts, they need a corner. They want to go get the best corner on the board. So they jump out of 14. They go get 10 from Chicago. All they give away is their first round pick, the third round pick, and a 2026 fourth round pick. And they go out and they get Will Johnson. They get their cornerback, their cornerstone of that defense. And they're going to continue to build around that. San Francisco, they get their edge rusher in the draft, the guy who they're looking at closely, Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Then Dallas, they want a receiver. They want to get someone who Dak can get the ball to. They're going with the best receiver on the board. Not going to try and pronounce the first name, but that last name is McMillan out of Arizona. You know who I'm talking about. He's going to be wearing the famed blue and white, the famous Cowboys uniform. McMillan goes to Dallas. Then Miami. Who does Miami go and get? I have them going to get, where is his name on this mock draft? I am doing this to make sure that I can keep track of everyone, and I'm not seeing his name because I'm slow. What the hell? Where is he at? Genuinely, I'm not seeing this guy anywhere. Control F. This is my best friend. I'm stupid. I look right over him. Kelvin Banks, the offensive lineman. Keep Tua afloat. Make sure he doesn't have any bad injuries anymore. Trying to limit that. Go get Tua, an offensive lineman. That's Kelvin Banks Jr. On this side, he's not a junior. That's why it confused me. Chicago. They are also in the market for an edge rusher. They go get the second best edge rusher available. That is, third best first best in this situation. But they go get Michael Williams out of Georgia. Him and Jalen Walker wreaked havoc among the SEC. As you know, they won 2 national titles, like 4 SEC championships. They won a Peach Bowl, won an Orange Bowl. Michael Williams is that guy if you can't get your hands on an Abdul Carter or Jalen Walker. At 15, my Atlanta Falcons. People are saying, oh, maybe they go up and trade up. No, we're staying put and we're getting ourselves a difference maker in the NCAA leader in sacks. Don't care that he played in the Sun Belt. Respect us, nigga. We get Mike Green out of Marshall. That man had like 17 sacks for Marshall. That man is our guy. And I'm getting notifications on my phone at 10:04 in the morning. I'm trying to get this video out, man. Leave me alone. Arizona, they go get their defensive piece. They're like, hey, we need to get an edge rusher. We know what we want. We're going to go out. We're going to get James Pierce Jr. James Pierce Jr. is... pull him up right here. James Pierce Jr., 21 years old, 6'5", 243. Last year, he had... why is this not popping up? Here we go. Last year, he had 7.5 sacks. The year before that, he had 9.5. That's going to be a man who is going to wreak havoc among the NFC West for years and years. Cincinnati, they go defensive line. They go Derek Harmon. That man is, at this point, the best defensive lineman on the board, unless you count Walter Nolan ahead of him. But I believe they're going to go with the man out of Oregon because Oregon is a school that really had a really good defense last year. So they're going Derek Harmon out of Oregon. Seattle. This is going to be a surprise for you guys. Seattle. Think about who they have at quarterback. Okay. Let me pull up their roster, which is going to take years to load. Position, wide receiver, tight end. Right now, as it stands, they have Sam Darnold, Jaren Hall, Sam Howell, and Drew Lock. They're drafting Shedeur Sanders. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to draft Shedeur Sanders and do the same thing that the Falcons did and that the Vikings tried to do. Sit him for a season, let him develop behind Sam Darnold, someone who we know can be a good quarterback in this league. We saw him last year. If he struggles out the gate, you go out and you put in Shedeur, say, you got nothing to lose, go get after it. So, Seattle goes for Shedeur. Tampa Bay, they go get themselves a linebacker out of Alabama, Jahad Campbell. That man is a dog, especially coming out of the SEC. He is going to be really, really, really good. Denver, they're going for a receiver. Get someone for Bo Nix to throw the ball to. They don't have Jerry Jeudy anymore. I'm not even sure who's on the Broncos receiving core right now. Denver's receiving core consists of Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Devon Villay, Troy Franklin. Yeah. So they're going to go out there and get themselves another weapon in Matthew Golden. Pittsburgh, your man falls right into your lap. Malachi Starks, the star safety from Georgia, wears the black and gold, and he's going to have an exceptional rookie year. I feel like Malachi Starks is the dark horse for rookie of the year because of how good he is on the defensive end. The Chargers, they get themselves a tight end. They already have Ladd McConkey. They have a pretty decent receiving core right now. What they're going to do, they're going to go out and they're going to get themselves a tight end in Colston Loveland. Someone who can run block and catch the football. Someone's going to be a mystery for these defenses to figure out, in my opinion. Green Bay, they go get themselves a corner. We know they need one. Jahad Barron. Then we have another trade. This one's not as big as the first one, but Minnesota trades away 24. Baltimore gets Minnesota trades away 24 and gets 27 and the 4th round pick from Baltimore. And what Baltimore does with that pick, they go out, they get their best lineman on their board. That's Tyler Booker out of Alabama. He was trying his best to keep Jalen Milroe upright for 2-3 years. And I think that he's going to be a really good part of the Baltimore offense, especially with Lamar Jackson. You're going to want to try and keep it upright as long as possible, even though he has the ability to get out the pocket. Houston, at pick 25, they go with Josh Quarterly, the offensive tackle from Oregon. Oregon, I feel like, is one of the schools that should produce a good handful of draft picks this year, because we've already seen 2 of them go so far. And I feel like Josh Quarterly is the best choice of offensive lineman to go to Houston to help keep CJ Stroud upright. That's the big thing with the offensive line, right? Keeping the big name people, keeping the quarterbacks upright. They're quiet guys. They don't get too much attention. All they're supposed to do is sneak into the background and make sure that their quarterback stays up. The Rams, they go out, they get themselves a corner in Javon Revell Jr. out of East Carolina. That's the best man on their board. for the cornerback position. That's where they're gonna go. Minnesota, they still get their guy. Their guy is Nick Skirton out of Texas A&M, the edge rusher. Last year, they're not pulling up the stats anymore on ESPN. Last year, he had 5 sacks. The year before that, Purdue, he had 10. He's going to be a dog, Nick Skirton. Keep an eye out for him. He's going to be scary in the NFC North. Detroit, they also get themselves an edge rusher. They get the Boston College edge rusher, Donovan. Not going to try that last day, but you know who I'm talking about. He goes to... Why am I blanking? He goes to Detroit. Emeka Egbuka, I'm assuming, from Ohio State. He goes to Washington, gets them another weapon for an already dangerous offensive attack that Jane Daniels has in Washington. Buffalo, they go out and they get themselves a safety, a DB in Nick Emmanwori. Yes, let's say that. They go out and get themselves a safety. Kansas City, they go out and get themselves an offensive lineman for Patrick Mahomes, Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. And then pick 32, we have another trade where Philadelphia trades 32. Tennessee gives up their 2nd round pick and their 5th round pick. And and Tennessee goes out and gets Luther Burden III. Out of Missouri. That is the mock draft. We will be streaming tonight on YouTube. Stream starts at 7:30. Stream starts at 7:30. We're going to be live here. We're going to have a good time. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks for listening to this episode. Hopefully, I'm getting this out at noon. That's what I'm hoping to do. But yeah, if you guys like it, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notice, and I'll see you guys in a few hours. Peace.